This is the Moon Tower Podcast with your host, Ian Hubbard. And we're back, folks, with your post-holiday episode of the Moon Tower Podcast. Your host, Ian Hubbard. Nate Fitch is back here again. He's live and in charge. Say hi, Nate.
Hello, children.
We are back with our post-Thanksgiving, pre-Christmas episode. First one. We're happy to be back with you, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking our Facebook page that we have up and running.
Hell yeah.
Been posting on that. Doing pretty well. We've got, 130 likes so far?
Yeah. All of the course by about a week.
I'm just glad they're not all my friends.
Yeah, I'm glad they're not robots.
Robots.
Oh yes, the robots.
Russian bots are taking over our Facebook page. But
Better Dosjevik out of my Vidanya.
yeah, whatever he said. No, all is well in Moon Tower Land. Thank you once again. Quick shout out. Next Friday, for those of you who don't know, yours truly, the host, has been doing an improv class the last now 7 weeks. And next Friday, the 14th?
Yes.
Next Friday, the 14th. Thank you. We are doing our showcase for the Glass City Improv. Now, for those of you who don't know, and I didn't know this until about October-ish, Glass City, Toledo has an improv group, comedy and drama. It's basically just a how-to class, getting in the means of improvisation and learning the steps and learning the different exercises and whatnot, and learning how to work with, various strangers that are within the group. And this coming Friday, we are doing our showcase. Now, the last 7 weeks, I've been doing this class every Thursday. Usually is the night after we do the recording of our episodes. But with the holiday season and whatnot, it's been kind of mishmash, but we've been able to kick out some good episodes. I'm actually pretty happy with the last couple ones we were able to push out. This coming, technically next Friday will be the showcase for said improv group. So, if you're interested, it'll be at the Valentine Theater on Adams Street, 415 Adams in downtown Toledo, in the heart of the Glass City, where we love to do our episodes. $5 a ticket. You can get your tickets on etix.com. Just search Glass City Improv or Valentine Theater. It'll show up either way. There's a $2.50 convenience charge. But
It's better than Ticketmaster.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah. Convenience fee. What's the convenience fee on Ticketmaster? Was like $12.50.
Depending, it's at least $8.
Yeah.
I've gone to shows where it's 8, or I've gone to some shows where it's like 12, 15.
Well,
so
depends on the venue too.
Yeah.
I found the Fillmore charges, the convenience fee is a little bit higher, like $12.50. But like, hey, we're gonna send your ticket to you, $20.
I always do the will call it. They usually works out pretty good.
No, if you're doing Ticketmaster, always have your fucking tickets sent to you. Have them send it through the mail. But Glass City Improv, Friday the 14th. What the whole idea is, it's a 3-tier improv group. So I'm in obviously the first tier, where it's the basic tenets of improvisation and learning basic exercises, and we've been doing this thing. I'll basically learn like I said, the basic tenets of improvisation. There's this thing in improv. It's called yes and. Basically, say for instance, me and you, Nate, we're doing a bit or a scene or whatever, and it's just short snippets, just kind of getting the gist of it. Say, and it's one sentence dialogue, one sentence type dialogue. So you come at me, and the purpose of it is not to ask questions. Like questions are, it's the kind of like the gray middle line in improv. The whole kind of one of the points of it is to make direct statements that the other person can feed off of. So like you come at me and say, like, my alligator's pregnant, like just something off the wall, and then I have to go with that. Like, oh, what should we do with that? And then that's called the yes and. Like I like whatever you come at me with, I have to go with.
Gotcha.
But if I come up with something, then you go off with that. And we've been doing a lot of great exercises. It's kind of funny, like a lot of this podcasting stuff that we've been doing. One of the hardest things for me to do, especially in the early episodes, is to kind of like just riff.
Yeah.
But one of the great things in this class that I've been able to do is, someone gives you kind of like a leeway to work with, and then you kind of fly off of that.
Gotcha.
And we haven't been doing like the whose line is it anyway kind of thing. It's kind of like that, but it's like the basic, like the bare bones of it.
Yeah.
And it's really been really cool, kind of cool, like to get in the flow of things, because there's no really any pressure. There's you gotta flow with it.
Oh yeah.
But the funny thing is, I found you have these ideas in your head, like you're watching other people do the exercises or whatnot, and then you formulate these ideas in your head.
Yeah.
You want to go off of it, and then, well, I'm up there, and then we're gonna do this and whatnot, and then it happens, and then you say it. And it comes out completely different. Like, it's a whole completely different vibe. It's really weird. Like, it's kind of been teaching me how to react instead of think and do.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like
that's how I try to do like my banter, I guess. Like I'll try to like go off like what you're saying, like whether it be like comedic trope or like whatever.
Well, that's fucking hilarious that you're saying that. Pun intended that you're saying that. It's like like in my case, like especially doing these episodes, like I lead the course and I have this and set out, and I found myself like in past episodes I have like notes. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this, and then this leads in this, and then I go on these rambles, and it's like. I look back at the notes after we're done recording.
Like, how did we get
here? We just jumped like 6 pages over, or like this is not even in the notes, and I didn't get to this, and blah blah blah. But that's kind of funny, like in a way, like say for instance, like in the early episodes we were doing of this, like I would just basically just look at you and just. Hey, blah, 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 and then you would kind of feed off of that and give me this weird look, like, what the fuck are you talking about? But,
granted, I'm still new to this, too, so,
Yeah, but that's one of the great things about this class that's kind of taught me is, like, being able to react to what the other person's bringing you. But it's a great class. Our teacher for the first course is Erin Canary. She's a great lady. Mad props to her. She's been doing improv for many years. She worked in Chicago, I believe. I think she worked in Detroit. Correct me if I'm wrong. She's worked with this class in the Valentine Theater for the last few years, and she's been doing this. And it's a 3-tier class. The next class, level 2, take that even further. What we've been working on is, like I said, essentially like feeding off one another, the whole yes-anding, building the scene, building whatever character that you might have in mind, like for that little tidbit of scenery that you have for the exercise. And there's one in particular that I've enjoyed very much. It's called Dr. Know-It-All. That's the name of the exercise that we've done the last few weeks. What it is, you have 5 chairs. I'll give you a quick little tidbit in this. There's 5 chairs, 3 off to one side, 2 off to the other. You have obviously 3 people seated right next to each other, off to, say, to the left. If you're looking at the stage, it's 3 seats to the right, 2 to the left. So if you're looking at the stage, there's 3 people off to the right, 2 to the left. And the whole idea of Dr. Know-It-All is you field questions from the audience, for instance. And the way we've been doing it is seated, and people from the audience, including the teacher, will ask just random, like, it's like lifestyle questions, like stuff you would see in a magazine.
Okay.
Like, oh, this flower, this is in season, like how do I deal with this? Or my wife's leaving me, and like just goofy, like, lifestyle questions.
Yeah.
You would see in Cosmopolitan or Home and Garden or like shit like that. I don't know where I came with my examples, but and the 3 on the left, or excuse me, the 3 stage right, the way they have to answer that question is one word at a time, starting with the first person and the second person and the third person and then back to the first person. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So where you got 3 people lined up, sitting in the chair, and it starts like, and I'm doing the hand motion, like they would go, so you have to go this way in order to answer this. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's really hard to fucking explain, like, if you're not actually seeing it, but it's really interesting because you have to.
I see it's like good practice for like quick thinking and like
Yeah,
like
exactly.
riffing on the fly,
like free flowing thinking, and we do the exercises too, where it's like, you basically just have to come up like Johnny on the spot, like, and just think of something and not think about it. Literally, like just react.
Yep.
Like that's the whole thing about improvisation, like especially like actually learning about it, like the tenets of it. Is,
kind of getting your muscle memory almost. Yeah.
And it's so fucking funny to me, like, cause like we've had conversations on this podcast about like, and we've fed back and forth.
Yeah.
Because I guess the thing is like the hard quote unquote hard part is like, like with me and you, for instance, we can go back and forth, because we know each other. We've known each other for a hot minute. We know what we like, we don't like, and if over conversation we find things about each other and blah blah blah. And this is like I barely know these people, and there's the structure of the exercise. I think that's I haven't been able to like say that over the course of the actual class. Like, the actual structure of the exercise is kind of what weirds me out.
Mm-hmm.
Not weirds me out, but like,
it's just like kind of like
stymies the thought process to where I would usually be, instead of like the here and now where we're doing the exercise.
Yeah, just kind of like a little bit out of your comfort zone, but like that's not a bad thing,
But it's been great. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Oh,
Anyway, excuse me. So you get the 3 people, and they have to answer the question word by word. So, first person says a word, second person says a word, third person says a word, and if it follows back to the first person, then they have to carry on. So they do that, and then the 2 people, if you're looking at the stage left, they have to look at each other and say the answer simultaneously.
Okay.
The same fucking.
So you're trying to get on the same wavelength almost. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
so for instance, crowd guy goes, so Dr. Know-It-All, how do you make the best BLT? So Nate, you and I will look at each other and mouth the same words simultaneously. So what you do is take white bread, and give the answer that way. It's really fucking. It's not hard. I mean, it's not like hard, like oh my god, like it's pressing against my brain kind of shit. But it's been really interesting, and it's really been a great learning experience, and especially like thinking about like having to do this podcast. Like, instead of thinking about what you're gonna say, like just saying it. But at the same time, like this is a different context, and you and I have different ideas about like the content and whatnot.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
Like I feel like it like helps kind of like find the groove almost.
Yeah, it's a different kind of center.
Yeah,
like it really is a different kind of center to find when you're doing the different mediums or especially the format.
Yeah.
But I digress. But yeah, the next Friday, once again the 14th.
Yep, 14th.
Thank you, Nate.
Payday. Woo.
Yeah, exactly. Valentine Theater, Studio A, which is the small theater, not the main theater. $5 a ticket is the showcase for the Glass City Improv. All three levels will be playing. My level 1, will be playing first. We get, I think, about a half hour, 25 minutes or so, to do our shorter stuff, do our thing, and have some fun, and see what you folks can think about us. And once again, there will be crowd interaction, so if you want to heckle, or actually, no, don't heckle, but,
I might be there, so I might heckle a little bit.
Yeah, be a pleasant crowd observer. Yeah.
Okay.
But come out, support the local scene, do what you got to do. But we'll look to have you if you're interested. If not, stay at home, go fuck yourself, watch Who's Line, yada yada yada. And with that, we have to give you an update on our HUAC Fighting Angry Goats. Nate, give us a hoof beat. Give us the hoof beat. Folks, your HUAC Fighting Angry Goats are still undefeated after the replacement game against the Albuquerque Armadillos. They are now officially 11-0. Hit it, Nate.
Woo!
Yeah, baby. Ow!
Man.
Now, this was a replacement game because earlier in the season, snow fell upon Albuquerque, New Mexico, postponing said game. And this time, the inclement weather, which was a torrential downpour, did not hesitate this game 1 single second. And my, what a game it was. Back and forth, up and down the field, sideline to sideline, frogs falling from the sky, cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria!
Oh no!
Both offenses ripped up huge chunks of yards as their respective quarterbacks put on a passing display that would make Dan Fouts and Dan Marino cower in fear.
Ooh, buddy.
Both offenses stomped across the terrain, but down 37-33 with 1:48 remaining, Jimmy the Gent Doppelganger proved once again why he is the leading candidate for the Thiesman Award as the best player in Division 8 as he took the GOAT offense 76 yards in 11 plays and eventually tossed the game-winning touchdown with 12 seconds left on the clock, giving HUAC a 40-37 victory and clinching the best Western Conference with a perfect 11-0 record.
Woo! Yeah. Go Doppelganger.
Yeah. Statistically speaking, HUAC had the best game offensively of the season and their worst game defensively of the season, amassing 526 yards of offense with 418 coming through the air and allowing 488 yards of offense with 412 yards coming from the arm of Armadillo quarterback Bill Feely. Feely also accounted for all 5 of Albuquerque's touchdowns. Wide receiver HUAC wide receiver Alex Murphy had another monster day for the Goats. 15 catches, 187 yards, 2 touchdowns, nearly scoring a third on a 47-yard reverse play, but was tackled at the 4-yard line. The HUAC offensive line, led by Dale the Whale McFarland, held up against the Armadillo blitz all day, keeping Doppelganger's jersey clean and giving him ample time to break the hard shell of the Armadillo secondary, completing 29 of 37 passes on the day. Defensively, though, it was a different story. Linebacker Dick Jones sat out much of the second and third quarters with a pulled hamstring, leaving the Goats without their tackling machine and team captain. Although the defense did look much maligned throughout the game, they did hold on 2 crucial Armadillo possessions, which turned pivotal to the outcome. The first coming on the Armadillo second possession. Driving into the Goat territory, HUAC's defense held with 2 deflected passes, forcing Albuquerque of their own punt. The first crucial stop from the Goats came on the Armadillo second possession as they were driving in the Goat territory, in which the Goat defense deflected 2 passes, forcing Albuquerque of their only punt for the game. The second crucial possession came midway through the third quarter, in which HUAC snuffed out a trick play reverse pass from Armadillo wideout Jan Harlan to quarterback Bill Feely on 4th and 6 from the Goat 37 while leading 27-17. The following possession saw quarterback Jimmy Doppelganger connect with Alex Murphy from 51 yards out to cut the lead to 27-23. Now, with the conference now secured, the Goats have a bye week leading up to the playoff match against the Shipshewana Panthers in a race for the D8 championship. The Panthers, sporting a 10-2 record, are riding on the heels of their defense, which led the league in turnovers, defensive touchdowns, forced fumbles, lobotomies, and hurt feelings. Team All-DA and defensive end Leonard Jackson led the team with 11 half sacks in 9 games. We were unable to speak with Coach Brett Stinkfester, but we did catch up with number 1 fan Dusty Dingenmeyer and his lovely cousin, wife, sister, Loretta. All right, Dusty, you've been the voice of the team outside of Coach Brett Stinkfester all year. Dusty, what do you got to say of being the number 1 fan?
Hey, man, I'm just really glad that we won. You know, we're 11-0. We're going all the way, man. Woo!
I love your enthusiasm. All right, cousin, wife, sister, Loretta, how do you feel about this?
Well, I'm just really happy that, Dusty is real happy about his team, and we're just doing real good. You know, we had a bad game off defensively, and what can I say? Like, we just got to pick it up on the defensive side, you know, in order to win our championship that we are so looking forward to at the beginning of the year. We look forward to this all year. We're looking forward to the playoffs. Can I say how much we're looking forward to this? I just can't wait. You know, we're season ticket holders. We're just going to go all the way regardless of whether or not this team wins. I mean, we're going to get our money's worth.
Man, Dusty, all year, fans like you have been waiting for this game. Granted, there was that delay because of the weather a couple months back. Like, what's your thoughts? What's your feelings? I mean, you guys been hampering to have this game happen.
Well, man, we've been camping out in Albuquerque ever since that dang old snow delay happened, man. Hey, we ain't gonna let no dang old fucking... We ain't gonna let no fucking snow. What is it? Like, guys gonna say we can't play football. Guess what? We gonna play football.
So you've been camping out since this game was actually posted?
Yeah, man. Back in October, we had our campsite all done up. We had it all done up. We had the teepee. We had the fire going. We had the grill going. We had the brats going. Had the beer on ice. Everything is all good. Even the potato chips ran stale. But guess what? Got fresh ones. It's all good, though. Guess what? We ain't gonna let God get in the way of football. Even God knows football's gotta happen. We gonna play football regardless of the weather.
And now that HUAC Fighting Angry Goats have won that football game, we're going to go on to the playoffs. We're going to go tailgate every single game that we can find, even if they ain't playing, we're gonna be out there. We're gonna be out there supporting our team, even if they ain't there. Because guess what? HUAC Fighting Angry Goats are here to stay. They gonna win this championship regardless. Even if I gotta go out and put on the pads, put on the shoulder, put the whatever this called, and the helmet, I'm gonna go out and play some football. I'm representing this team regardless. You understand that? This team is number one. This is the season for the reason. Mark my words. Over and out. Mr. Dingemeyer, I must say, as the voice of the HUAC Fighting Angry Goats, we very much appreciate your representation of our team. You have done such a great job. Miss Loretta, Miss cousin sister wife Loretta, now that you are a part of that team, we cannot hesitate but to say thank you for being a part of this. Now, is there any last thoughts or comments or concerns you have leading up to their first playoff game?
Well, I just enjoy football for the game of it, and I'm here with my husband Dusty. Yeah, we're number one, motherfucker. What do you think about that? Yeah, you saw. Oh, shit. Oh, whoa. Oh, slipped the fast one. Sorry, honey. Sorry. You keep talking to that nice man. Over there with the microphone and the radio and the camera and whatnot. Well, you have to excuse my husband. He gets a little rowdy yet.
Miss, we understand. That's why Dustin Dingemeyer is our number one fan.
Well, he gets a little rowdy around these parts, around this time. It is playoff season, and before HUAC came on, he didn't have no team to root for. Now he's got a team to root for. Now he don't know what to do with himself. So, I just let him be. So, yeah, it's playoff season. We gonna get at it. And if you don't understand that, then you don't understand the spirit of the Fighting Angry Goats and what this team is all about. 11-0 is 11-0. If you don't understand that, you don't know football. If you don't understand that, you don't know what this team is about. Whoa, Mrs. Dingemeyer,
Excuse me, Mrs. Dingemeyer. Just calm down a minute.
Don't you tell me what I can and cannot get frothy about. Look at me. Look at my eyes. They're red. You're red. They're goat red. I'm real passionate about this team. Can't you understand about this team that I can't?
Well, all right, we're gonna have to cut it off there. Man, we here at the Moon Tower Podcast thoroughly appreciate the passion of the Dingemeyers. Nate, I know you're sweating over there, man. You're sweating over there listening to this. They're
intense.
Get the bail money ready, because these folks
are we camping in the extreme? Because I am intense right now.
Man, I understand. I mean, this goes beyond the Buckeye man, painting his face all scarlet and gray and whatnot. But we're gonna go back for a split second, maybe not a split second, for a hot minute, I should say. We're gonna give the Dingemeyers one more chance. We'll see where they're at. All right, Dusty, Loretta, you guys all right?
Yeah, man, we're doing all right. I got the brats all set up. I got the pressure. I got the cooker. Everything's all right. Everything's all right.
Do you even know where the next game is at?
No, don't even care. I'm out here to party.
Cousin, sister, Loretta, are you all right?
Well, whatever's good for the geese is good for the gander. It's football.
Shit, Nate. I can't argue with that.
Nope, no sir.
All right, so that's the Dingamires for you, and that's the wrap up on the HUAC, the update on the HUAC Fighting Angry Goats. Once again, they're looking at a bye week going into their first game on the Division 8 playoffs against the Shipshewana Panthers. Shipshewana Panthers have a tough defense once again, but HUAC has fought against a few tough defenses this year and a couple prolific offenses. They've done well. You know what? Hopefully Dick Jones and company get their act together. We hope linebacker Dick Jones gets his health back. We're looking forward to it.
Let's give him some dick.
Exactly. And with that, we're looking forward to giving you the update on the HUAC Fighting Angry Goats and their quest. And that's a wrap up on our football updates, especially for your HUAC Fighting Angry Goats. Give us a quick breather. We're going to take a quick break, go relieve ourselves, refill our glasses, and here for your pleasurable ears are the nice sounds of Saturn Boy. Take it away. And we are back with episode 12?
12.
Not half. I was going to say half a dozen.
Half an episode.
A whole fucking whole dozen episodes, buddy.
Yeah, we're there.
As long as we get this one going.
Yep.
Incomplete. But no, I got the Rudy on the TV.
Is there? Yes, sir.
You ever seen this?
I can't say I have.
You haven't seen Rudy?
I haven't.
What?
It's not about Rudy Giuliani.
No, it's only Rudy, the one-time Notre Dame player.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
You never seen this or heard about this?
No. I mean, I've seen like Hoosiers, but that's like basketball.
Well, this is basically Hoosiers for football.
Okay.
But according to the story, for all you fans out there, Rudy Rudiger. Now, granted, this is an embellished story, so it's not true to form. But this guy apparently went through. He went to high school in Joliet in Chicago. Was it Chicago? I think it was Chicago. And wanted to go to Notre Dame, but he wasn't a scholarship player. This is back in the 70s. He wasn't a scholarship player. Like, in order to get on to a major college football team, he had to be a scholarship player.
Yeah.
Like, in order to actually be on the team. But apparently this dude went through, I think it's called Holy Cross, the JV school, or JC school, excuse me. Worked his way up, went to class all the time, and then ended up going to Notre Dame and working his way on to the practice team, not even the actual first scholar, first team.
Yeah.
He worked his way on the practice team where he got the shit kicked out of him for 5 months out of the year for 2 or 3 years running. And then apparently it showed, spoiler alert, it shows him at the end of the movie playing like the last like couple plays of his senior year in the last game. Like, according to the story, this dude worked his way up, blah blah blah, and like his whole claim to fame was he gained so much respect amongst his teammates over the course of doing this, and especially like practicing with the Notre Dame first team and whatnot, which back in the day was like late 60s, about to probably the late 70s was a powerhouse team. Like, Notre Dame was the best team in the land, like, especially like the whole tradition of it. You have Michigan along with it, Ohio State, obviously. As far as like the whole tradition and going back to your grandfather's kind of football, like those are the teams. And Notre Dame is, I think they're still number one in all-time wins as far as a college football team, and they have that long tradition and history. Like, they had it was a backfield back in the 20s. It was called the Four Horsemen. I can't recite the players' names, but it was like the best backfield in college football. It's regaled as one of the best backfields ever, and like tradition and lore and like the ghost of and like shit, like the whole like mythology behind it, like a team.
Oh yeah.
Kind of the way that the Green Bay Packers have with NFL.
Yep.
Like Bart Starr, and how the kind of the Bears have with like Buckus and fucking Walter Payton and shit like that. Like, and you hear about, like, you watch like clips of it from wherever, and you have that demeaning like Steve Sable or Nick Sable voice, like, in the day of the Four Horse, that kind of vibe. We're talking about fucking anime earlier, like,
yeah.
Before I took a piss, and you're talking about like the whole like vibe around it, like, with Notre Dame football, it's still maybe not amongst like modern college football fans, but it still carries that vibe, or at least it did.
They're a classic team.
Yeah, classic teams that have that lore of, like, if you're a college football fan, for instance, they have that just the kind of like the halo hanging above them, like
Air of notoriety.
Yeah, well, not even notoriety, like mythology.
Yeah.
Like the NFL has like the Steelers and the Packers and now the Patriots, especially with Tom Brady. But with college football, like, for a while, it had that kind of luster to me. Like, just for a while, like, I told you about when I was a big football fan, right?
Yeah.
I started off in middle school. I I wanted that to be my dream. I wanted to be a part of football. I wanted to coach football. Like, that was that was the end game. I even remember my last game in middle school, 8th grade year. We were playing Ada. I went to Lima North middle school. We played, I think it was Ada, and we got our asses kicked, which should have been a sign, foreshadowing, whatever you want to call it. And I remember walking off the field towards the bus. I still had my shoulder pads on, jersey, leg pads, cleats, all that shit. I had my helmet in my hand. I turned back to the field, and that was going to be my end-all, be-all. And I for a split second, I had that heroic kind of moment, like as a 14-year-old, 13-year-old, like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. Because I had like visions in my brain of, you know, being on the playing field and having those moments, like those glorious moments. You know, like
Not exactly.
last second quarterback throws the game-winning touchdown. You're part of the play. You're on the field, like, and the crowd goes wild and shit like that. And you know, it's. I'm not gonna. I will never deny it, but it's a great thing for a kid to have. It really is. Like, as long as you tend to learn from what ends up happening if that play doesn't happen. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Hear what I'm saying?
Yeah. Cause and effect sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah. And I had that whole thing, like, going through my brain, not necessarily, like, that picturesque moment, but after that, like, I was sold. Like, football was going to be it. That was life. Like, before God and country, like, there was football. At least for me, like, I went as I had it all planned out. I was gonna go through high school. I was gonna play. I was gonna learn. It didn't hit me at the. We're rolling, right? Okay.
Yes.
It didn't hit me at the time, but it was the whole game and the aspect of the game was something that I kind of grew into and wanted to be a part of and envelop myself into, especially as I got older through my teen years was adolescence through teen years, as they would call it, the Maslow hierarchy, or the Piaget, I should say, it was football.
Oh, yeah.
Football came before even God and country. That's funny this is on now. Not to interrupt in what I was saying, but I put Rudy on for a reason, man. It makes me remember. But no, yeah, like, football really was like the go-to. That was what I thought at the time was my way out. And going through middle school, well, not even middle school, like, I didn't know it at the time, like, the further I got, like in high school and whatnot, and wanting to play it and playing it, the game and practicing, like, I wanted to be a coach. Like, that was my end game. Especially when I got into high school, I had this whole idea, like, I was going to go through high school, I was going to play whatever games, I was going to go to college, play whatever games, and then end up working my way up to being a coach. That was, at that time, you know, that was my end game. That's my whole idea. And it ended up, especially in high school, like, early beginnings, like, about the time I was probably from 7th or 8th grade to probably sophomore year in high school, I was dead fucking on. Wanted to be a football coach. I wanted to be an offensive coordinator, which, for those of you at home that don't know, that's the guy that calls the plays. But not only calls the plays, but gets the players sorted out and into the position, etc., etc. That was going to be my shtick. Like, that's what I wanted. Like, that's what I was dead fucking set on. Yeah, that was going to be the avenue I wanted to take. It didn't dawn upon me, but it happened upon me about, freshman age. Football was going to be it. It was it, literally. Like, to the point where I was drawing up plays and wanted to be, like I said, an offensive coordinator. So much so that, like, that was the end game. I was going to go through high school, college, and then after that, whatever path that took, I wanted to be a football coach. Almost to the point where it did, like, whatever, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Like, it did not matter. I wanted to be a football coach. Like, that was whatever endpoint there was me holding the fucking playbook, calling the plays. That's what I wanted. It got to the point when I was in high school, especially, like early part of high school, I had my own playbook. Did I ever tell you about this?
Yeah. I think we mentioned on a previous episode.
Yeah. I was drawing up plays for. I especially wanted to be a offensive coordinator, like the guy who calls the plays and gets the players in the situation. Blah blah blah. That's what I wanted to be. Yeah, I wanted to be the offensive coordinator. That was my dream fucking job. But as a player, that was a dream I had, like being like 14, 15. That was 16, 17. That was it. But as far as the physical standpoint, like that was when I was going through high school. And well, the funny thing is that I do remember a lot of the stuff that happened in the high school years as far as football playing. And, they weren't. There's 3 good memories that I have. Not to sound like, but it is what it is. It really is. And to say that it had a damper on my initial thinking of as a coach, yeah, it did. It really did. And when I came out of it, like I especially remember my last game. Not the game, but I remember the day after. I was home. It was around Halloween time. Then I got into high school, and high school was, for most of us, such a bitch. High school is the ultimate evil devil. The unnecessary devil.
It was the culmination of what is to come.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
A little taste of, the rest of the life.
Well, and for me, high school kind of like solidified what I wanted to happen. And when it came to the whole football thing, like,
it's what I expected to happen, and it's what I kind of cherish to happen. Like, in some sadomasochist kind of way, you wanted the upperclassmen to make fun of the lowerclassmen, and when you were part of the lowerclassmen, not wanted to have that happen, but it was kind of a ritual and part of the tradition, and it showed on the field, like being able to be promoted to the varsity as part of the freshman class. That part didn't matter, especially after you found out that the varsity class was a bunch of shitheads who got hurt and didn't care, and then you were part of it. Then you saw what happened, and like literally like a varsity class, a varsity football team that was doo-doo butter, and that's what triggered that whole point, like being part of the JV and the freshman class, and being part of teams that were not very good, losing every fucking weekend. Like, for the varsity class, or excuse me, the freshman class, we lost a lot of close games. Yeah, those close losses that I remember from back in the glory days. Any sucker who's a fault for that, like, yeah, you ain't live. I don't buy the whole glory days thing, but no, that part, yeah, I think it's, at least for this episode, might be a good lead-off part. Would you agree? I mean,
oh yeah.
One blink for yes, two blink for no.
One blank.
One blink. Oh, you did it 3 times.
That would be one. That had to be 2 and 1.
You smarmy son of a bitch. But no, we'll leave off with that until next time. But no, etix.com if you want to see the Glass Improv show, what they're up to next Friday. Next Friday.
Yeah.
The 14th. Have at it. etix.com. Give us a show. Buy a ticket. Take the ride for the Moon Tower podcast. We are out for this episode.
Bye, all you beautiful people. Stop being so beautiful.
Ooh.
Or keep being beautiful, or whatever. You know.
Ooh.
I don't know what you should be. You can be whatever you want to be. Don't let me tell you to be something that you are not. Moon Tower Podcast. We love you. We hug you audibly.
Mouthfully.
With our airwaves.